with this spot here, right? I think this gives the singer, you know, like a lot more, a lot more range, much more powerful. I think her voice feels a lot stronger here, so to speak, right? Like if the other one was 8 out of 10, this is 10 out of 10. Yeah, I think this is like really good. I think her voice performance here in Shock is really, really strong. This is one of the best. Hello everyone, one time for another The Warning reaction and review video. Last time then, I did Animosity, which was an animated music video, right? This time it's the first time I'm doing a normal music video, so to speak, with the actual band in it, right? And it's Shock then. The people asked me to do Shock particularly, and I would say immediately I loved it. Very powerful singing. I liked it more than Animosity. I do kind of like that kind of webtoon anime opening, right? Absolutely. But from a song-wise, this was really fantastic. This is like a 10 out of 10 song, I think. But anyway, let's check out the reaction. So people ask me to watch Shock here, right? This is the first time The Warning that I'm looking at that is, music video, yeah, not animated, yeah, not live either, I suppose. Yeah, maybe next video will be a live version. Leave a comment below, guys. Okay, here we go. Okay. Let's build up. As a big Kiss fan, because I love that lighting S on the drum roll, yeah. Great singing. Yeah, she got a very powerful voice, definitely. Otherwise, yeah. Oh yeah, but I think yeah, it's called Shock, right? It's like drowning or something, and yeah, driving into the water. Yeah, that's the nice word. She got a very powerful voice. It's a little bit of a rock ballad feel it. It is very different than the other song I heard. Yeah, I mean, this feels, I keep saying it, but I do feel her voice feels much powerful in this one, and it gives me like an 80 vibes, right? A little Meatloaf, honestly, just thinking of, yeah, a little bit of that old good Meatloaf. That's why it popped in my head at least when I listened to it. And she's shocking, right? There's some new lyrics here. It feels like this song has a message of, like, you know, overcoming kind of struggle, I feel. That she's struggling, right? That she's finally out of the water with that new lyric there. We're gonna listen to it again here. Wakes up. Maybe it's like some kind of deleting herself. Is it gonna be dark here? Maybe. But it does feel more like, yeah, like a person is digging in, right? A person is like, you know, drowning in whatever it should have in life, like depression or perhaps stuck in a root of life or something. Like diving in, sticking in life, and then she's like trying not to choke, I guess. It does feel a little bit of a dark themes here. Yeah, sinking, water, bad. Okay, let's break it down. Yeah, I'm rewatching it again, right? So it does feel like either the song is about just like giving up, kind of thing, but I guess it's about, like, you know, overcoming that pressure, right? Because she's kind of waking up in the water there. yeah, like Let Me Drown, right? So it's a little bit of a depressing song. This is a scene that makes me a little bit like, yeah, it's interesting. The song has, I keep saying, right? It feels like someone is, I mean, what is called choke, right? Feels someone is choking. A lot of the lyrics kind of goes like, you know, I'm giving up in life kind of thing, right? It does feel like it's a song, someone said about deleting, you know, stuff, right? But I would rather say that in a typical, I would say, rocker, you know, like badass feel to it, right? It's more about, you know, a woman that's like has this hurdle in life, right? And she has to overcome it, right? It can be other things. It can be about depression or whatever, or you're stuck at work and you can't get whatever, right? And so forth, right? So it's a little bit, but certainly the song kind of goes on the edge there if it's like what it's about, right? But it's kind of in the end when the lyric kind of changes a little more into like, okay, maybe it's actually more like, how can I survive this drowning rather than just to drown, right? In the early bits. Anyway, from a musical standpoint, I think the voice, the singing here was a lot better than the one I listened to last thing I have to say. So this part here, right? Yeah, so I want to listen to two of them, if you don't count Band-Maid. And I do feel when she sings here, I have to say, I think it sounds a lot better than Animosity did. No, I like Animosity too, but I think this gives the singer, you know, like a lot more, yeah, a lot more range. I think her voice is much more practice, yeah. Like I said, right, I feel her singing is honestly a lot better, I think, than Animosity. And I'm with that guy, but I'm not saying that, oh, and Animosity was terrible or whatever, right? But it's more like, Animosity was good, you know, I liked it, I liked the animation of it, it's a good fitting song, right? But yeah, I think here it's much more powerful. I think her voice feels a lot stronger here, so to speak, right? Like, if the other one was 8 out of 10, this is 10 out of 10. Yeah, I think this is like really good. I think her voice performance here in Shock is really, really strong. This is one of the best I've heard in a while, I feel. So this was a really good song. Very, very powerful. And how much I can emphasize more. No, but all the bits, all these like, kind of this, you know, make me draw, like this part here, right? This is 1 minute 30. It felt very, very powerful. So this was really good. So I mentioned it earlier, but to me at least, it reminded me of Meatloaf. I love Meatloaf, so it's a great compliment. But I think it's kind of like for me, when you're kind of in the 80s, it's kind of what I grew up with. There's kind of my musical, Guns N' Roses and so on, right? These kind of bands during that era. It just goes in my head, right? And this felt more like a rock ballad, as I mentioned earlier as well, than the other songs I heard from them. And as I always say, right, leave a comment below what you guys see a reaction for something. But I like this more than most of the. I like this team. But I think overall that I'm a big fan of these kind of rock ballads or, you know, in that kind of direction, right? And of course we can argue what it actually means to be that or what. But you get my point, right? I like music in this direction, so I find it a very good song. Yeah, this is like a 10 for me. This is really excellent, but but I don't know why. Leave a comment below. Do you guys feel Meatloaf? I felt very Meatloaf. I keep thinking of, you know, Battle of Hell and so on. I don't know, but it's also because I've listened to Meatloaf a lot, of course, growing up, right, and over again. So immediately when I hear any kind of rock ballad feel to it, I'm like, oh, it's Meatloaf. It's, in my head, it's like, this gives me that Meatloaf. But that's kind of my life, you know. You grew up a teenager and you kind of have that. Him as one of the main things I listen to probably during that era. Also, as I mentioned earlier, of course, my biggest band, as I said before YouTube, was of course Kiss, right? So when I saw that, to go to the, she of course have the Lightning S, right, on the on the drums. Yeah, I was like, oh, is that a Kiss reference? No, Kiss didn't invent that, of course, the Lightning Bolt S, but that's always been my favorite band. I probably said another video, but for me then, right, I am a little too old for Kiss. Now I don't know, because like I'm too old for that the original Kiss, right? That's more like my father's age. But the thing is that I'm kind of in that age where Kiss had like how say it, a return, right, like a reunion, and they started playing again, and they become big again, right? And my best friend and his father and my father are massive Kiss fans, so that we had all the Kiss stuff, all the Kiss memorials at home, all the different merch, you know. And I will always remember, of course, my first Halloween, me and my best friend, and obviously had, you know, the Kiss cosplay, right? We had the Kiss makeup. I, of course, was Paul Stanley. My best friend was Gene Simmons, right? You know, I was the Star Child. So, yeah. So for me, it's like, oh yeah, that thing has to be Kiss reference, right? I better hope so. No, but it's That's definitely my all-time favorite, like, childhood rock music. I know it's like glam rock, but whatever. Get my point. But yeah, overall, it's an excellent song. I mean, I keep saying it right, but can't be said enough. I think her voice was very, very powerful, so that was definitely the highlight of it. Perhaps depressing, but I think it's interesting. You know, I like when a music video has a little bit of like a, how do I say it? Symbolism. You see my latest Band-Maid video. I'm like, let me discuss 10 minutes of this door behind the symbolism of hell. But that video was that video is like, it's called like Afterlife, and they're clearly in hell or something. So my video became a lot about that, right? But what I meant is that I kind of like the video here, where I'm a little unsure actually what the whole drowning is supposed to be. Is he trying to drown, or is he trying to get up again? You know what I mean? Like, I like that. It was a little bit unclear what actually the song is about, but overall, I suppose that it's about, like, you know, overcoming adversity, right? I hope so, at least. That's how my brain is. I'm very much a half glass full guy, right? I'm always like, how do I overcome my enemies? Yeah, how do I get stronger? Yeah, that's the way I look at it. But anyway, subscribe, have a great day.